Hello, hello again, Ian Sticky with Mastermind Games, back with Hordes and the Skorne and painting a Cyclops Savage. Dark Elf skin 09164. So the Cyclops Savage is used as a light war beast, melee oriented with a big ol' sword. Okay. We have a form of psychic precognition, allowing them to re-roll, or no, it's boost after they roll. And that is also they have that inherent, and their animus can give it to others. So I'm just going to get all the cloth here first, starting with the pants. There's no, I'm going to have to move that thing out of the way. There's no skin showing, so at least not as far as I can tell. And the Skorne, being the evil sadomasochists they are, do torture just about everything they get their hands on. In the case of the Cyclops, I believe they perform a form of lobotomy on them, but I'm not certain. Read that in an older book. I don't know if it can be considered a part of the canon or not, but just gonna get the clothing all colored in. And then around the helmet. So that might end up being redone in metal. Okay. And the cloth on the banner is going to match the armor, so that's going to have to wait for a bit. So, go ahead and set them aside and let that dry. Okay. Next up is Marine Teal 09077. For the time being, I'm just going to do the entirety armor in this color and pick out others later. Got a little thick right there. Okay. Yeah, sorry I'm not more talkative. It's still kind of early in the morning. I just would very much like to get this done today before I go to my gaming and go to my Grow League. And all this Skorne I've got is from one of the random blind boxes Privateer Press did over the summer. The bargain priced $250 something worth of stuff for $60. those. I got Skorne and Circle Orbro, so I'll have some of that faction coming up at some point. It's kind of a low priority. I prioritize stuff I play actively over stuff I currently just collect. Back of the knuckles there. I'll probably pick out the underside of that gauntlet in other colors as well, but for now we'll just go ahead with the teal. Yeah. It's not easy for me to check whether I'm in camera or not because the computer has to be behind me. It's just the way my home is configured. There's definitely some Japanese influence in the armor the Skorne use, particularly the banners there. Just in the same way as there's a certain influence of Soviet-era iconography on Khador. But the thing is, neither faction has anything to do with any real-world sources of inspiration, really. Just, we'll say, borrowing elements, which artists have been doing for, well, since the dawn of time, really. Okay. So, looking at it again, this looks more like armor than cloth, so we'll just go ahead and go over that. It got a little thick right there around the neck. Okay. Make sure I got a nice even coat on the collar there. And that gets me in good shape, so let's see, is there anything else I can do? I think there's one more thing I can do, and that is, second thought, no. I'm going to need to hold off and wait for a bit, so back in a little bit once this dries. Okay, next up, oiled leather 09110. Getting the grip on the sword. And then underside of the gauntlets. Okay. Been a little paranoid about staying in camera lately. Okay, let's see. That looks good. Okay, now Tarnished steel 09206. Need a little more than that. Look at this blade on the pommel. Spike here. Of course, the blade of the sword itself. Can't remember if the card describes the sword as a falchion or something else. Sort of a spike on its head. I think this might be slightly miscast, but that's okay. The card makes it look a little pointier. Look at this blade on the pole. Or banner, whichever. Okay. And 09002 deep red. This will go on the tassels and ropes. Okay. That should be alright. Okay. Now, a little more right here. And 09050 antique gold. Oh, wrong container. Okay, let's do. Rather redo this part of the gauntlet for more color. This disc here just below the spike. Same on the other side. Carefully get the trim on the right pauldron. And I think this disc on the back. And the pull for the banner. Okay, that looks pretty good. Alright, that's going to be base coats. So once this has had a chance to dry completely, I will shade. Okay, time to shade. Ancient Bronze 09049. This might be the only color I can do right this minute. We'll just see how it goes. About half paint, half water dilute. This could very well be the only color I can do right this minute. So just okay, let's see. I think I can go ahead and do the brown as well. So that'll be Ruddy Leather 09109. Okay, that's all I can do right now. So once that dries, I can move on. Okay, next layer of shading. That's going to be 09001 red brick. Just need to find the right brush over here. About half paint, half water again. Way to get this right is just through practice and repetition. Okay, and I can also do the steel. So Blackened Steel 09205. Oh boy, the cat's fight me here. Always get these closed up after you squeeze out what you need. Helps keep the paint nice longer. Just gonna leave the blade of the sword. Okay, that's just gonna leave the teal and the dark violet gray. So let that sit for a bit. Time for the teal. 09076 Deep Ocean. Start with the helmet and work on down. Let's see, I'll do the banner last. That's going to be the part I'm most likely to nick with my finger. And what's funny is I've only started with Skorne recently, as in the last couple of weeks. I have gone up against many Skorne players over the years, and I have almost never seen any of them use a Cyclops outside of the character beast Moloch Karn, who has a pair of big swords and has traditionally had the Weapon Master ability with them. The strategy with him was nicknamed the Moloch Missile, where you buff the hell out of him and send him at your opponent's biggest, most powerful models, preferably their leader. Only other Cyclops I've seen with any regularity outside of Karn has been a shaman. Just range-oriented magic. So I feel the Cyclops don't get enough attention in Skorne. But there's also a lot of apparent whining and scorn on the various forums, which I generally don't bother looking at, so I'm only knowing about that from secondhand knowledge at best, so not exactly the most reliable source out there. And in the end, this is just a game, so like anything, some people take it way too seriously. And that gets the teal. I think I need to nix some of the red here because it got a little obscured. Let's just take care of that with some red brick real quick. Yeah, and cross fingers. Works out okay. It'll be alright. Okay. And no, not just yet. So let that dry, then I can get the cloth, get some black in the visor there, and get the jewels started on. Alright, next layer. 09163. This is Dark Elf Shadow. I think my camera glitched out for a second there and didn't catch my speech for a second. It happens. This is just one of those things. So, okay. Get the cloth. And again, in addressing the whole torture aspect of the Skorne, they are a solid villain faction. Period. There's no, I don't feel it's necessary to pull punches with a villain group for something aimed at adults. I mean, think about Game of Thrones, how disappointing that would be if all the violence and sex were toned down to something child-friendly as opposed to what it is. That said, I don't actually watch Game of Thrones. I know of it. I know about the books it's based off of, but it's a good example of an adult-oriented series that doesn't pull its punches with stuff. The thematic aspects of certain factions in this hobby should be viewed about the same way. There are times when it's appropriate to pull your punches and times when it's not. That depends on the audience to a certain extent. Okay, so that's the last of the actual shading. I'm going to take Pure White 09039, get started on the jewels. So I need to use a very tiny brush for this. So one there, and then on these tassels. And then on these, on the back. Now using the same brush and Pure Black 09037. Not very much of that, mind you. get the interior of the visor. Just like that. Okay, and that can just wait to dry for a few minutes before I continue on with the jewels. Okay, that dark gray violet still has some drying to do, but I can start on the jewels. Pine green 091 09010. Okay. Taking that fine brush again. Just a little bit of this dark green across it. One has some more drying to do than the rest of it. Okay. Just got the second stage of this ready. Okay, giving the jewel some polish here. Pale green 09012. This is being done as a wash essentially. That dark gray still has some drying to do. Okay. Now once all this stuff is completely dried, then I can highlight and finish up. Okay, time to highlight. So where I want to start, probably the cloth. Dark Elf Highlight 09165. And this brush should do marvelously. Get that out the way. Lightly dusting over the areas to be highlighted, going against any grains found. It's kind of a wood term, cutting term, but woodworking term, but go against raised edges. It helps the paint catch that. Okay, let's see which one next. Well, I'm going to switch to a smaller brush and go with burnt orange 09111. That's going to go on the leather. How about next? Looks like I'm going to be doing the turquoise. So Surf Aqua 09078. Excuse me. I just realized I forgot to do the hands. So just take that gray really quick and just... There we go. Okay. And Blood Red 09003. I'm rotating between these brushes to give some of them a chance to dry. So next up, how about I clean this brush out a little? Well, never mind, I missed a spot. I've missed these tassels on the armor at every step so far. That's disappointing. Alright, there we go. True Silver 09207. And 09051 new gold. about done. One of these days I'm going to figure out why I keep doing this compulsive whispering. Pure white 09039. I can get a grip on my brush. Just getting a bit of shine on the jewels. Okay. Then 09002 deep red. You get the arc started. Using a flat head brush. Being very careful around the toes. Especially on the right where it extends past the base. Alright. Once that's completely dry, I can add some detail to the banner. Finish up the arc, number it, and then get the sand on it. Excuse me. Alright, so Blood Red 09003, and using a card as a reference, it's going to freehand the faction symbol onto the banner. Let's see here. This one. It's a pretty crude approximation, but it'll do fine. Okay. Now, a bit crude, but not bad, considering it's the first time I've ever done Skorne iconography. So, move this out of the way. And get that self-healing cutting mat out. Adjust the camera a bit. That's going to have to do. And get this Cyclops facing the way I want him. Then taking pure black, 09037. Which has some funky threading on it, so it doesn't close very well. carefully getting the edges defined for the front arc. Now we can go a little more loosely. And being careful around the toes. Take that font over there. And I misplaced the price. Ah, there we go. A little more work on the iconography here. Just brighten that up with a second layer. Completely forgetting. Well, this is like something out of the Muppet Show, which is what is on my mind because I've been watching it in between takes. Easy enough to just take that black and just fix that real quick. All right, that's got it. So once that completely dries, then I can fly. In this case, sand. Okay, time to do the basing. Convenient container and white glue. Fill it with water. Sacrificial brush. And paint around the feet of the model. Again, the particular style of base used by Privateer Press for War Machine Hordes has this little lip that makes it very easy to keep the material in and not on or around. And this was a base with a slot in it, a pre-cut slot. So I used masking tape before priming to fill that gap in. If you don't fill the gap, you're going to get a big divot. And I'm using sand. So there's a quick dip. A little more. And using a separate brush to push off the excess. I don't want it. Which includes exhuming this Cyclops' toes. Okay, it's alright, so I'm just going to have to wait for a little bit before I can seal it. Alright, time to finish up. Pure white again, 09039, just a little bit. Because I will end up with more than one of these guys eventually, I just need to do a little number on the back of the base. Just a quick Roman numeral like that is sufficient. Yeah, a bit ugly, but... And then taking... Whoa, almost took out my camera. Taking an eyedropper and a sprayer brush and adhesive. This is scenic cement. It's a woodland scenics thing, but I'm sure there's other stuff that works just as well. Carefully drip it in. You need to let your initial glue set for a little bit first, otherwise this will do nothing but push your material around. Give you some ugly holes. Always clean your eyedropper out thoroughly, and a glass one is better than a plastic one for this. And that is it. A Skorne Cyclops Savage. So, got some more Skorne coming up before I get back to Warhammer 40,000 and other games, including Malifaux. So until next time, I am Ian Stokey with Mastermind Games, signing out.